All right, let's talk about scaling your business. We're going to dive into how you can blend some really timeless wisdom with modern strategy. The goal here is to give you a toolkit for growth that helps you build not just a bigger company, but a better one. Let's get right into it. This quote from the book, Scaling Up, just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that central problem we're trying to solve. It's this weird paradox where the very growth you've been chasing starts to feel like a burden, you know? It leads to burnout instead of the freedom you were hoping for. So the big question is there a better way? Can you do this without going crazy? Well, we think the answer is a huge resounding yes, and it all starts with understanding two really critical tools that every single leader needs: a modern map and an ancient compass. Okay, so first up, let's explore what we're calling the map. Think of this as your practical guide to the terrain. It's the collection of all the essential systems, the proven tactics, and the processes that tell you how to grow your business efficiently. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, what do we even mean by scaling? Because it's not just about getting bigger at any cost. Real scaling is when you build smart, efficient systems so your revenue can climb way faster than your expenses. It's all about working smarter, not harder, achieving multiplication, not just simple addition. And this is where things get really interesting, because you can see right here that not all business models are created equal. I mean, look at something like one-on-one coaching versus a SaaS product. Models like SaaS or digital goods are practically built for scale from day one, mainly because they separate your time from your revenue. Choosing the right model is a fundamental, absolutely critical step on your map to growth. And think of these as the tried and true highways on your map. You've got strategies like market penetration, where you're just selling more to your existing customers, or maybe you're forming strategic partnerships to expand your reach. Each one of these is a well-trodden path that can lead you toward your destination. But here's the thing, a map is pretty much useless if you don't know which way is north, right? That's where the compass comes in. This is your guide to why, the timeless principles that make sure your growth is actually meaningful and, pointed in the right direction. And this question, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? It forces this crucial shift in perspective. We move from focusing only on the how, the processes and tactics, to thinking about the core principles, the very DNA that guides your company's decisions and really shapes its culture. This right here, this sums it all up perfectly. Your vision is your compass. It doesn't tell you exactly which road to take, but it always points you true north. It's that fixed point that guides you, while the systems on your map are what help you navigate the day-to-day terrain. Now, one of the absolute cornerstones of this ancient wisdom is the idea of servant leadership. It's such a profound concept. The best leaders don't seek power for themselves. They seek to empower others. When you lead from a place of service and empathy, you build this incredible trust and loyalty that, frankly, systems and processes alone could never create. And look, real vision, it's not about taking a vote or waiting for everyone to agree with you. It's about leading with a deep, unwavering conviction. That conviction acts like a powerful engine, creating this unstoppable forward momentum that just pulls your whole team along for the ride. Okay, so here's the real secret sauce. It's not about choosing the compass or the map. The magic really happens when you integrate them. This is where your principled why finally meets your practical how. Let's break down what this actually looks like. So you take a strong vision from your compass and you translate that into measurable, smart goals on your map. A culture of servant leadership, which is a compass principle, gets supported by documented, repeatable processes. That's the map. See? They aren't in conflict at all. They actually reinforce each other. You know that ancient parable about building your house on rock versus sand? It's maybe one of the best business lessons ever. Your principles, your culture, your why. That's the rock. If you try to build massive growth on a weak, sandy foundation of just tactics, it is inevitably going to collapse under its own weight. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put it all together in a way that makes sense? Well, let's build this out into an actionable 5-step framework for what we can call principled scaling. It all boils down to this 5-step process. It gives you a really clear path forward. You start by designing for multiplication, then you establish your vision and goals, secure the foundation, move on to executing with innovation, and finally, you sustain it all with generosity. Let's just touch on each one real quick. Step 1. You've got to design for multiplication from the very beginning. You do this by intentionally choosing a business model, like we talked about, SaaS or digital products, that's built from the ground up to grow without being 100% dependent on you. Step 2 is all about connecting your compass to your map. You take that big, inspiring why from your compass and you translate it into a clear, measurable map of goals, specific, time-bound targets for everything from revenue to customer satisfaction. All right, step 3. This is where you secure that rock-solid foundation we were talking about. This means fostering a culture of servant leadership to really empower your team, and then backing that up with watertight, documented processes that ensure everything stays consistent and high quality as you grow. Step 4 is all about execution. But this isn't just blindly following a plan. It's about constantly challenging old ways of doing things, all while using data, your KPIs, to monitor your progress and adapt really, really quickly to whatever the market throws at you. And finally, step 5, you make sure this whole thing can last for the long haul. This is about practicing what we'd call wise generosity, creating abundance for your team, your customers, your community, while also keeping a disciplined financial strategy to make sure your cash flow is healthy and able to fuel your mission. So, we've talked about the map, and we've talked about the compass, but there's one last, absolutely critical piece of the puzzle that ties everything together. And that final ingredient is you. And wow, this quote really gets to the heart of it all. Your mindset, your beliefs about what's possible, the story you're telling yourself every single day, that is the true engine of your growth. Your business's success will almost never exceed the level of your own personal leadership. So that leaves us with one last really important question you need to ask yourself. What is the inner script you are writing for your business? Is it a story of limitation and stress, or is it one that's actually designed for sustainable, meaningful multiplication? Your answer to that question will determine everything.